Welcome to this video review. As you can see in front of me I have a Geovid 8x56 HDR 2700 laser range-finding binoculars made by Leica. As you probably know, Leica is probably the biggest and it definitely was the first producer of range-finding binoculars on a civil market. And this Geovid is just one in a line of really many that they produced in the last couple of years. If I start with the general story about the range-finding binoculars made by Leica, so they started everything in 1992 with the Geovid BD and BDA 7x42. They had a really distinct shape and size. They are like a big pear or a big apple, but everything started there. I apologize. Then in 2004 they came out with a Geovid BRF, which was far more, I would say, commercially successful, and which led all other producers to follow suit and to also produce laser range-finding binoculars. So in 2004 8x42 and 10x42 came out. But also in 2005, from the same series, the Geovid BRF, the first 56mm objective lens laser range-finding binoculars came out. So I would say this is a successor of that start in 2005. In 2009, the whole series of BRF got updated to Geovid HD. They stayed the same on the outside, but the optical performance was really improved. And then in 2013 something really big happened, and that means this type of binoculars that we see here came out with the name of Geovid HDB. What was really special about them was that they used Perger-Poro prism, so a prism type that only Leica uses and which gives this distinct shape to the binoculars. And from 2013, then 2016, the first HDR came out, this one, but they were called HDR type 500 for the 8x56 or type 402 and 403 for the 8x42 and 10x42. At the same time, they also run the normal Geovid HDR without the type markings for the normal classical shape with Schmidt and Peham prisms. So it's a whole confusion with Leica Geovids and their naming. This is something what I spoke to Leica a couple of times. Why are they causing this confusion with all of their names and so on? But I would say it's a company policy. In 2018, the HDR Type 500 was upgraded to HDR 2700. And now they ditched the naming of type something, and they went from the yard naming of how far in yards can a particular binocular measure. In the meantime, they did also special editions and with green color and so on, so the confusion just didn't stop. All in all, you are getting a really good product, even if you're confused with the name. Okay, so if we talk about this particular product and what it is different compared to other products from Leica. First of all, if you look Type 500 and this one 2700, the only real difference is the range. So this one ranges further to 2500 meters or 2700 yards. The Type 500, the predecessor to this binocular, is completely the same on the outside. It measured only to 1800 meters. So almost 1000 meters more of the range is now. The first one was in 2016, the Type 500. This one was introduced in 2018 at EVA. The price of this binoculars is 2,900 euros, so it's quite lower, positioned quite lower than their HDB and now the new 3200.com binoculars, and also quite more affordable than, let's say, comparable size 8x54 Victory RF. So the price, even though it's high, 2,900 euros is not a low price, but still it is more affordable than other competitors. Compared to the HDB, it lacks the ballistic software. So this HDR only gives you the actual range and the equivalent horizontal range. It doesn't give you the complete ballistic data, how many clicks you need to apply in your rifle to that distance. That technology is reserved only for the HDB and for the 3200.com. If I talk about the physical properties of these binoculars, they are quite big, 19 centimeters in length, approximately 15 centimeters in width, and they weigh 1.2 kilogram, 1,200 grams, really a lot. Together with the binoculars, you're getting a nice neoprene carrying strap, you're getting a special tool to remove the battery from here. So you're getting the warranty card. So the binoculars are made in Leica factory in Portugal, and they really, because it's their own factory, they control the quality to the last detail, and the warranty is 5 years. You also get the quality control certificate that exactly these binoculars were passed the quality control when they went through. Lens cleaner. You're getting a small catalog with all the accessories you can buy for your binoculars. Really, really, really nice. So you're getting this when you're buying the binoculars. Leica is smart. I think nobody else does this. So they include a small catalog together with your product so that you're able to buy more of their products. And a really hefty manual in many different languages with all the information you need. Rubber lens covers on the eyepiece side and the objective side, and a carrying bag, a nice one, robust, reliable one. If I talk about the eyepieces, they're made out of plastic but covered with rubber, so they're not completely soft, but they are not really that hard anymore. And they have, I tried to count it a couple of times, but I think 5 or 4 different stages where you can set them to get the appropriate eye relief to your eyes. Really nice, one of the best in the industry. What is also very interesting is that you have diopter setting on both eyes. Why? Because in one tube you have an internal indicator of or the internal display for the measurements, and in the other normally it's a normal diopter setting. Then you have a central focusing. It's hard to set, to be honest, because here you're setting your diopter correction, here you're setting your diopter correction for the display, and normally the focusing knob on top. So it's really, really funny for those who are first-time users how to set everything correctly. You have to take your time and really set everything. The close focusing, if I go to focus, the focusing, close focusing is around 6 meters, and the focusing knob position is on top of the binoculars. The focusing feel is nice, even though I have to say that on their BRF and other, now it's only Geovid R, I think, the naming, I like the focusing feel there a little bit better than here. But still, it is more than decent, but we are talking about the 3,000 euros binoculars, so it should be perfect, and it's, let's say, 99% perfect. It has around 1.5 complete turns from one extreme to another extreme, and the focusing is quite slow. That's really good for hunting, so they have a hunter in their mind when they were doing it. Next, I would say we could go through the optical properties. So 8-time magnification by 56 millimeter objective lens, really big lenses, which gives you 7 millimeter exit pupil, which on one side is really, really comfortable, and on the other side it gives you a really bright picture. There are not many competitors that produce 8x56 binoculars with laser rangefinder integrated. To be honest, it is only one other manufacturer that does that, and that's Zeiss. What no one else does it is to use Perger Poro prisms. This is something completely new and only Leica uses them. I also presume that Leica has a patent on them because no one else uses them. What Perger-Poro prisms give you is much better light transmission rate. So light transmission rate of this is 90% or more. They also claim 92% on some tests. So for a laser rangefinder binoculars, the image is really, really bright. It is so close to the non-laser rangefinder binoculars that I think that 9 out of 10 people will never notice if they would compare only optical performance that this binoculars feature a laser rangefinder inside. Because honestly speaking, laser rangefinder always takes some optical performance, but in this binoculars, the optical performance is really not hindered that much. I would say that the only hindrance that I see compared to others in this particular model is the field of view. 118 meters of field of view. This is a bit less than with other 8x56 binoculars, and I would say that this is probably due to laser rangefinder being installed in them. Normally, all the lenses are fully multi-coated, and on the external surfaces you get aqua dura coating, which protects your lenses against dirt, water, and dust and so on. So the water just slides off on both sides. And in general, optical performance is worthy of the Leica name, especially when considered that the laser rangefinder, which you can see here also, is integrated into these binoculars. So if we go to the laser part, so the maximal range is around 2,500 meters, really a lot, more than anyone would ever need, except for the sport shooters who shoot on extended long range, but still 2,500 meters, it's still a lot. The minimal range is 10 meters, so from 10 meters to 2,500. The accuracy is approximately half a meter on all distances, I believe, and from 1,500 meters onwards it's 1 meter. To be honest, the accuracy is far better than anybody would need. And what's really, really special with Leica compared to other competitors, the measurements are extremely fast. You just click the button and you have the measurement. When we test Leicas against other binoculars with integrated laser rangefinder, we sometimes get this strange, how to say, coincidence that people think that laser rangefinder doesn't work in other binoculars because they click and they think that they will get a measurement on the same speed as with Leica, and then they click again and again and again and again, and they never let the binoculars finish their measurement and display the value because they're used to Leica. When you click on it, the value you get immediately, and this just tells you how fast Leica measures compared to others. It's really blistering fast. You have 2 buttons, one button to get into the menu, and you can also get some ambiental data from your binoculars, so the temperature of the air and so on, and the other button for normal measurements. If you can see, the buttons are different, so you feel with your finger on which button you're in. One is concaved, one is just rounded, so you feel immediately which one is which, and you know which one to press without looking outside. It gives you the equivalent horizontal range, but it doesn't have any ballistical software. Honestly speaking, it covers more than 95% of all the needs of a normal hunter or a shooter. If you need more, if you need all the ballistic calculations and so on, Leica still offers you HDB and 3200.com. Okay, I think I came to the last part of this review, and this is the sweet and sour part of every of my reviews, where I go through the positives and negatives of the device. So if I go through Leica, what's really positive? First of all, the laser. It's extremely fast, the fastest I know in the industry, and the range is 2,500 meters is more than enough for anyone. I like the optics, the brightness, the colors, the resolution. It's really worthy of the Leica name. I also like the eyepieces. The eyepieces, they offer great support and so many different positions. The eye relief is 20 millimeters, so also really, really great, among the best in the industry. It's really easy to use, so the buttons, they're on the right position and so on. Also the ergonomics. This Perger-Poro It's really ergonomical compared to other binoculars, and with the open bridge design, you can even use it with one hand. Really nice. The build quality, the materials used and so on, everything is top notch. I also like the price. I think with 2,900 euros it is more affordable than all the other options in 8x56 class, and you are buying one of the best binoculars in the world. So I think that the price is fair, even though it's high. Okay, what I think could have been done better. First of all, I always have the problem with focusing. I have small hands, the position of the focusing knob, for me at least, it's not in the right place. It would be much better if it would be put here, but then normally it wouldn't be any room for the open bridge design. But still, the focusing, it is a stretch for me, honestly speaking. Field of view, because if you compare this to the 8x42 and 10x42 models, those feature normal field of views, but 8x56 features a little bit narrower field of view. I also think that the weight, 1.2 kilogram, it's quite a lot, but normally this is 8x56 binoculars with integrated lasers, so I do understand it. These are also one of the few laser rangefinding binoculars that you can use for low light use. So you are able to use them in low light conditions, and you will get more than decent, above average light transmission rate and optical performance. Last but not least, what I also think could have been done a little bit better is the small details like the strap attachment. Let's say Steiner click lock system or Swarovski system at the moment are a bit better. So I hope that Leica will change this. Also the lens covers, integrated lens covers instead of this, which go around here, is better on some competitors. Also in lower price classes. But all in all, still one of the best laser rangefinding binoculars in the market. Really, I would say with a fair price for what you're getting. Low light usable and extremely fast measurements on a really long distance. So this still is in the category of laser rangefinding binoculars, especially if you have low light needs. If you're using it for hunting in low light, probably one of the best options, if not the best. Because honestly speaking, with the competitors, even if you look in the same Leica range, if you look at 3200.com, it's around 400-500 euros more expensive. The same binoculars, you only get the ballistic software. And honestly speaking, ballistic software will not do any good until, let's say, 500-600 meters. I do believe many users will never shoot on 600 meters with their hunting rifle or when they need this type of binoculars. So you're able to save 400 euros for the same optics, for everything the same, just the lack of the ballistic software, which gives you clicks on, let's say, 800 meters. Not many people need this. So I think it's a great viable option if you go for the HDR 2700. Thank you for watching. Please check our other reviews of Leica and other rangefinding binoculars. And if you have any additional questions, please send us an email or check our webpage.